Hey guys, welcome back. This week, I'm going to help you to understand what happened in your relationship. And just a disclaimer, and I'm going to repeat this over and over again, this was not about you. I think it's important to say it over and over again just to remind you, because when I say all of this in this video, you are going to sit there and go, I didn't do this right. I was the one at fault. Look, I'm not good enough. But I do want to give you the honest answer of what was really missing in your relationship for this person to kind of jump ship. I don't care if it was an emotional affair. I don't care if it was a physical affair. I don't cheating, no cheating, just for them to just up and leave. I'm talking about a really tough and painful discard of some sort. Because the first question that we ask ourselves when we go through these experiences is, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? What didn't I do enough of to cause this person to do what they did? Again, disclaimer, I'm gonna say it again, number two, this was not about you. It doesn't mean that you did everything right in the relationship and this person is 100% always at fault in every scenario that happened during the course of your relationship, but it does mean that what you did or didn't do did not warrant their behavior. I'm gonna give you two scenarios too. I'm gonna give you someone who is definitely narcissistic, and then I'm gonna give you scenarios of people that may not be narcissistic, but these are things that they did in the relationship as well. Some of these things for me, learning them, it was extremely painful to hear, because depending on where you're at in your journey, if you're just coming out of a relationship, if it just happened to you, or maybe this was like 5 years ago and you're just watching this because maybe it's gonna give you some kind of validation or clarity, it's painful to hear these things because chances are you didn't feel any of these things. If someone leaves, jumps ship, cheats, affair, emotional, physical, whatever it is, just isn't happy, here's the reasons why. Number one, there's no emotional connection. I think that was probably the toughest pill for me to swallow, was that I was not in a relationship in the same way that this person was. I was all the way down the road and he hadn't even left the house. We were not on the same page. Emotional connection has to do with vulnerability, sharing feelings, empathy, being able to be seen and heard, having that level of understanding with that person. This is really where like your best friend comes into play. And first off, I'm gonna tell you, you can't have an emotional connection with someone who's narcissistic. So if you think in any way, shape, or form that your ex or current partner is possibly narcissistic, I don't care what you do or didn't do or how healthy you are, you will never be able to have an emotional connection with someone who's narcissistic. They have an inability to be vulnerable. They don't even know how to be vulnerable. They don't even know who they are. They don't know what they think. They don't know what they feel. They are constantly playing a character. How sad. How sad that this person has absolutely no idea who they are to be able to even have a normal, healthy friendship. We're not even talking about physical intimacy, romance, chemistry. We're not talking about any of that. Just friendship with another person. I think of my past relationships or people that I've known who I think definitely are narcissistic or at least have narcissistic traits. Their relationships with other people that they work with, friends that they've had majority of their life, are surface level. Even relationships that they have with their family, brothers, sisters, parents, surface level. There's no real deep intimacy, connection, vulnerability with any of those people. So why on earth do you think you are that one person that this person's going to just like completely give you everything that's going on inside of them and really let you into all of their fears and worries and insecurities and how they're no. So looking back, even though it like really pained me to see that like, okay, we weren't on the same page. I was not in a relationship with the person that I thought I was, or we were not swimming in the same pool whatsoever. Even though that was painful to hear initially, it actually made sense if I just stopped and thought about the type of person that they are. And if I'm really honest with myself, there was definitely more vulnerability and emotional intimacy on my part, I feel, than the other person, but there was still a wall that I had up. And here's the question that you want to ask yourself. If you think that, oh my God, I just had such an emotional connection with this person, is did you 110% feel safe with this person? Feel safe with your fears, your worries, your insecurities? Like, would you or had you told this person everything that you've ever felt and thought? I mean, raw you, like the stuff that no one sees, Could you have done that with this person? Amazing if the answer is yes. For me, the answer was definitely no. I did not feel safe around this person because whenever I would start to give this person bits and pieces of who I am and kind of like exposing myself in this way, I was met with shame and with judgment, which means that if you're met with shame and judgment, you're never going to be able to have emotional intimacy with that person. So hence no emotional connection. I also want to like really emphasize that this person is not having an emotional connection with anyone else either. I don't care who the new person is going forward. If you're dealing with a lack of an emotional connection and you don't even realize that that's actually what's happening in your relationship because you're so distracted by other things, now we have that kind of going against us. That is always going to lead to really bad, poor communication. And everyone thinks they're the best communicator, but they're not. And most people don't even know how to communicate because they're constantly seeking validation. If you're constantly seeking validation and you're dealing with someone who doesn't have any empathy, yeah, you're not gonna have good communication because communication means that I'm gonna tell you what I think and what I feel. And if you validate me, okay, great. If not, I mean, we'll put validation off to the side. But if I come to you and I tell you what I think and how I feel, and you have absolutely no ability to even dip your toe into empathy, this ain't gonna work. This is not going to work. Now, if you're wounded and you are craving validation, then that's really, and this is definitely a narcissist 100%, and possibly even you at times. I know it was me. So if it was me, it was probably you too, is wanting someone to agree with me, wanting someone to make me feel that what I was thinking and how I felt was okay. And when I wasn't getting that, then I would shut down. So maybe you do something different. Do you get angry? Do you yell? Do you get verbally abusive? Like, what is it that you do when you don't get your way, when you don't get that validation? And same thing is true for that other person. What do they do? Do they then make you feel like you're the problem? Or they try to gaslight you? So what is it that they do, and then what is it that you do? All of these things may not be the case in your own experience. Some people really crave new and exciting. They crave the highs that they're gonna get in a relationship. They need these highs in order to kind of fill themselves up because they suffer from low self-esteem or have a poor sense of self. So when you don't know how to self-regulate your emotional state, then you need highs in order to kind of like fill that void, that tank inside. When a relationship starts to be mundane or boring, so to speak, which boring to me is the day-to-day aspects of life in a relationship because they're not always glamorous, they're not always hot and heavy. Doesn't mean you can't live in a honeymoon phase of life. You absolutely can. You can have, great intimacy, great connection, but that's something that you really, really have to foster. But we all go through periods in relationships where life is just going super fast and we forget to kind of foster that relationship that we have. And the reason why sometimes we don't foster it is, yes, life is really busy. Maybe we have kids, work is crazy, I've been traveling a lot, whatever that looks like. But a really big reason is because we feel like our needs are not getting met. When our needs are not getting met, we don't want to put any more work into something that we feel like we're not going to get something out of or get something back from. When that type of thinking happens, you're talking about one or possibly two people that are living in a taker mentality and not a giver mentality. So maybe you've been the giver and the other person's been the taker, and now you've kind of just shut that off altogether. Or maybe both of you are looking to just get from the relationship and neither of you are wanting to give. If two people come into a relationship just strictly wanting to give and show up as their best self, which by the way is work that you have to do on your own, that has nothing to do with anyone else whatsoever. That's why I totally disagree with couples therapy where two people are sitting there and they can just go hammer at each other and like, you did this wrong, and there's just basically a mediator that, yes, is trying to help the other people, the other person understand their partner and why they feel what they feel and all that kind of stuff. But the bigger thing that absolutely needs to happen is both people need to be working on themselves in order for this to really work and stick. Because the problems in your relationship that you're having, most likely, and I'm talking about the people that are not dealing with someone who's narcissistic or a psychopath or a sociopath, is the problems that have always been inside of you your entire life. All of those wounds, all of that stuff, insecurity, codependency, selfishness, all of it is just coming up into your relationship and it's damaging your relationship. This is why I never understood the whole grass is greener mentality, because unless you leave a relationship and you do serious work on yourself, and I think most people like to think that they're doing all this work on themselves, but they're really not. They are going to bring that baggage into that next relationship. And definitely your partner is going to bring the same stuff into that next relationship. Maybe they'll find someone that is willing to put up with the baggage, and that's where you can't get bitter and angry that they've moved on or found someone else that's willing to put up with them, because there's probably stuff that's still living inside of you, that there's someone out there that would be more than willing to put up with it. So it's just about, either you're going to find someone that's willing to put up with all of it, good luck, or you're going to actually have the relationship that you want, and that will require you doing some work on yourself. There is a combination of 3 things that are always missing in, honestly, even regardless of like cheating and jumping ship, I think these things are really missing in a lot of relationships. And this is really the reason why your relationship is not the relationship that you really truly want if you're honest with yourself. And that's going to be trust, respect, and appreciation. When you don't feel safe in a relationship, meaning you don't feel like you can come to this person and say something to them and get empathy and compassion and understanding and all of those things, and maybe even validation, probably, then you're not going to feel safe. I mean, top on that, betraying, lying, cheating, leaving, whatever, all the back and forth dance that sometimes we play in relationships, you're definitely not going to feel safe. So if you don't feel safe, then you're not going to want to put any work into a relationship for it to actually succeed. Respect and appreciation, I think, are 2 things that, regardless of trust, regardless of boredom, regardless of emotional intimacy, like that has to be there. Who this person is to their core, exactly who they are today, do you respect them? Chances are the answer to that is going to be no. Because I think a lot of times we're not in relationships with people we should be in relationships with. We're in relationships with people that we thought we could conform, we could change, or those things that are bothering me, they're not that big, they're not that heavy. And guess what? Those are always the things that will end your relationship at the end. Someone leaving, someone jumping ship, again, disclaimer 3, like we should be like doing something every time I've said this word, because I probably said it enough during this video, is none of this was about you. This was about them and either their fear of confrontation, their grass is greener, want my cake and eat it too mentality, maybe some selfishness, maybe some fear. There's a combination of a lot of things that make someone do what they do in terms of jumping ship and cheating and lying and betraying and affairs and all those things. But what I want you to understand is not, hopefully that'll kind of like start to help you a little bit to move forward. But the bigger picture that I want you to see here is, what are the things that are missing in your relationship? And do you feel that those things are missing in your relationship? Do you want those things in your relationship? Is this the person, if you're being very honest with yourself, is this the person that you actually want to be in a relationship with? And seeing them as they are right now with nothing ever changing. Because I gotta tell you, it takes a lot to change, and you have to really want to be that person. And if you don't want to be that person, then you're not the person that they should be with, and they're not the person that you should be with. And even though, believe me, none of what I'm saying is like, okay, yeah, now I'm just gonna like move on and I'm totally fine. Nope, no heartbreak, no tears, no. But it hopefully is starting to get you to understand that maybe you are not in the right relationship. And when you're working on yourself, you will have more self-confidence than you probably have had before to understand that you do deserve better and that you're going to get better. And that'll kind of just start moving yourself in a different direction to help you kind of overcome some of the things that you've been through. So I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and follow, subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on social. I always link everything down below. We have courses available on private coaching, memberships, so many different options for you guys if you are looking to work with me and really dive deep into this stuff. I hope you guys are well, and I'll see you in the next video.